Hello guys, welcome to another episode of KSP Resurgence. Today we are making a space station around Cili, Centaur's third moon. Is it really a moon? It's more like an asteroid. That's up to debate, I guess. Now here's the first part. I'm gonna get a little bit more science from ores, which I set up in the last episode. It's a space station around Olia that I set up just for the purpose of science. However, I was planning on going interplanetary, but I don't have enough science to be able to do anything. I mean, I could go interplanetary with the nuclear engines I have, but I need better launch vehicles just to get them into orbit. So for that reason, I'm going to be making another space station. Now, from the science I got, I did get better nuclear propulsion, improved nuclear propulsion. However, I'm not actually going to use it today. Now, I may notice I haven't uploaded quite a bit, well, I guess it does make up for the very early upload I did have. Well, I had a little thing over the weekend, so that's why I couldn't upload. I'm gonna try upload way more. I keep saying that, but my upload schedule never changes. I'm not gonna try this time. I'm building the space station now. It's gonna be a smaller one. I'm gonna have a little capsule that will return the crew to Centaur, which is the main homeworld of the Kerbals in this planet pack, Celestial Harmony. It's actually got, well, it's not an update, it's actually a separate planet pack. It was originally made to be an update, but it got put into another planet pack called Cosmic Serenity. It adds a brown dwarf system called Hades, I believe, with a bunch of really cool planets. And yes, I did install it, and we will be visiting that, hopefully, within the future. It is further out than the Chaos system. I decided not to have wormholes, at least for now, just because I feel like they make the game too easy sometimes. Besides, if you do have far future technologies installed, we can make a massive interplanetary, interstellar, vessel. Beam core antimatter. But to be honest, that's probably gonna take a lot of effort, but we'll do it. Unless I don't do it, then I'll probably add wormholes or just make a smaller vessel. Now, I decided to call this CORES, or Cili Orbital Research Station. I know, very original. Of course, I have to have the obligatory label from, I believe it's from, Conformal Decals, I believe it's called. Add the batteries, of course. Now, of course, I'm going to build a rocket to land into orbit. I decided to hire a couple scientists just because I didn't have many. I've gotten quite a few applications, but I decided to make the job feature available to only certain users because I felt like too many people were selecting pilot. I don't really need pilots. I need scientists. I need engineers. So that's why I kind of limited it. And by the way, if you do want to show up in KSP Resurgence, there's a form down below. You can request to be a Kerbal. Pretty cool. You may have noticed I forgot to put science experiments on here. Don't worry, I'll fix it later. This engine I'm using is from Rocket Motor Benjee. It's a cool mod that adds a bunch of space shuttle-like engines to the game for all sorts of needs, whether it be launch vehicles, orbital, or Methalox powered rockets. I did unlock some 5-meter parts, which I'll be using for this ridiculously overbuilt launch vehicle. Cili is rather hard to get to, so I want to pack as much fuel here as possible, but it turned out being overbuilt. I guess it's better than having too much. It's better to have too much than too little. I was originally going to go for a bunch of these engines, but then I decided to use a Rhino. If you have any questions, please ask me in the description about what mods I'm using. There's another little kind of a mod I've used called Avalanche. It adds waterfall plumes to solid rocket boosters. It really bugs me how normal waterfall, the vanilla one, not vanilla, the basic default configs do not have SRB configs. It really bothers me, but Avalanche fixes that. Of course, we have the obligatory Calamity mod soundtrack playing. More on that in the description. Maybe wondering how I'm recoloring these parts. I'm using a little something called Textures Unlimited Recolor Depot. Really great mod. Unfortunately, the configs are limited. So there is a new future launch vehicles config, but like there's a restock config, but like it only covers a few parts, and development was cancelled because restock PBR exists. I really think restock PBR could be the next big thing, but like it has the same problem. It has the same problem Turb has. You need to make configs for all of them. And considering that we already have Turb configs, we're gonna have to make a new foundation for all these parts. So maybe it'll be a while before restock PBR becomes mainstream. And also it is still in alpha. And I was a little afraid to pitch down this rocket because I feel like it's going to destabilize. Especially with the somewhat low initial TWR that the Rhino has to offer. I grossly overbuilt this rocket. We ended up having like a couple thousand meters per second left over. Like I said previously, better to have too much than too little. Besides, I might be able to land a station on Cili itself, maybe. But that's not until a future episode. Yeah, this is the part where I get rid of the solid rocket boosters and begin pitching down. After realizing that we're no longer in that part of the atmosphere where the rocket wants to tip over and destroy itself. I really can't wait for Celestial Harmony to get another update. Specifically when the remnants of the Tempest system from Beyond Home get added. Well, it's going to be called the Misfortune system. But that probably won't be for a while. I really like the work that Proxima has put into this mod, so I can't wait to see more of it. I'm probably gonna go interplanetary next episode with the bounds of science I have. I mean, I would like to build an interplanetary vehicle that is reusable, so I kind of want to have it overbuilt for the first mission. But I'm gonna need a bit more science. And then my next interplanetary vehicle is probably gonna be like fusion powered or something. It's gonna be really powerful and be able to take us anywhere in the Sanctar system. And then at which point, either we build a bigger and better IPV if the one I'm talking about, the fusion powered one, gets a little bit old and outclassed, or maybe we'll just skip to Interstellar and just go to the Hades system. Like I said previously, I'm not doing wormholes, at least not right now. I can always re-enable them later. I feel like we need a bit of a challenge. Speaking of challenge, I really wanted to do a rescale playthrough of this, just because I previously played JSQ and going back to stock scale seems like a little weird. But rescale breaks Celestial Harmony, unfortunately, so I guess not. Who knows, maybe in a future series where I revisit this mod, it might be able to do it. But that's like in the very far future. This series is going to be a long one, considering all the destinations we're going to go to. I should probably do a dedicated mod review of this mod, and maybe Cosmic Serenity. I did record it, but I didn't upload it because I didn't like how it came out. I grossly overbuilt this rocket. So this is kind of why I don't like stock scale, because a whole lot of rockets end up being somewhat like SSTOs. I mean, they do have solid rocket boosters, but other than that, it's just a single stage. It somehow gets to orbit. Rescale systems are like JSQ don't have that issue. If you don't know what JSQ is, it's a revamp of the stock system. Adds a few new bodies, revamps a bunch of them, and makes everything 2.7 times bigger. My main gripe with it is that it doesn't really work with parallax continuing that well. There's a config, but it's really, really glitchy. I should probably be talking about what I'm doing here. I'm gonna be plotting our course to Cili, but first I'm gonna circularize just so it's a bit easier to get the encounter. Maybe wondering like where all these exotic fuels are coming from. They're coming from Chemical Technologies. It's a really good mod that like removes liquid fuel, monopropellant, oxidizer, and replaces them with like stuff like methane, hydrogen, liquid oxygen, hydrazine, high test peroxide, and a bunch of other stuff. And you have to like go down the science tree, the tech tree, just to unlock these exotic fuels. We also have like a bunch of new nuclear propellants that were just added, like nitrogen and carbon dioxide. I really like to use those, but like they're kind of out of the way in the tech tree. They're in an entirely different area than all the other fuels. So I guess I'll have to wait on that a bit. Speaking of the tech tree, there are like a few gripes I have with it. Like I kind of don't like how the best hypergolic oxidizer isn't the same yoke as all the best antimatter tanks. I also don't like how far ion engines are from the I don't like how far the ion engines are from the nuclear engines, because whenever I play KSP, I always find myself using like far future nuclear technologies rather than ion engines, just because they're easier to get. That's if I make a tech tree mod, I'm gonna have them really close just to make ion engines a viable alternative. I also want this. If I'm gonna make a tech tree, I'm also gonna make it so that you unlock some parts sooner. Like you actually can build a decent rocket from the start instead of just making a single MK1 Mark 1 command pod with a solid rocket booster. I want you to actually like make a rocket and pour your heart and soul into it and actually have a good-looking rocket. It still won't be able to do much though. It'll probably just be able to. It'll probably just still be suborbital. There was an app that makes it like really easy to edit tech trees, I believe, but I think making the configs available for them is gonna be a little tricky. We have a pretty good encounter with Cili. I have noticed my episode to Cili, episode 3, I believe, ending up doing the best out of all the videos. For some reason. Hopefully this one actually does pretty well also. Maybe the YouTube algorithm likes Cili for some reason. I noticed my episode 2, the Crab one, didn't do so well. Probably because it was longer than the other ones and the YouTube algorithm didn't like that. So, like I said in previous videos, I'm gonna aim for 20 minutes. I always feel like I end up talking about the same things in these videos. I gotta twist things up. How about I start talking about like what I'm gonna do in this series? Like, I'm gonna try landing the space station on Cili. Well, not this episode. I might never do it, but if I ever need a ton of science, I know what to do. Considering this thing was grossly overbuilt, I could do it. Cili is like almost around the size of Gilly, if not smaller. It's like similar to Gilly in terms of size, so it's really easy to land on. It's tricky to get to though because of its inclination. Another gripe I have is with communications antenna, like how you can't transmit science with a built-in antenna. And also like the antenna you unlock are like really good for anything going to moons of your homeworld, but as soon as you go interplanetary, like all the antennas you have are dirt. I mean, some of them could work for like brief interplanetary excursions, but that you'll probably find yourself out of the comms range for a while. I'm also throwing this out there. You should probably join my Discord server if you like this. And while you're down there, you should probably like and subscribe. It helps a lot. If you're gonna join my Discord server, why don't you apply to become a Kerbonaut on my series? There's a form in the description. I keep saying the same things over and over again. I gotta spice things up. We're now gonna begin the research around this around Cili. We're gonna get a lot of science. Kind of little flashy lights ahead, so just be careful. I'm probably gonna cut any part where I'm just time warping for the labs from now on, just because they're boring and too flashing lights. So just in case something bad happens. But first, I'm actually gonna go a bit lower in orbit, closer to Cili, just so I can get some space low science. However, I did end up running out of electric charge. I don't have this issue later, but just because I got so close to Cili, or Harmonia, the star got blotted out, so I couldn't get any electric charge. I probably should have packed a few more batteries on this, to be honest. I really like Universal Storage 2. It's a great mod. It makes like your spacecraft a lot less jank in terms of scientific experiments. It has a really compact Science Junior, which is really nice. I mean, it's not cheating, like tweak scaling a Science Junior. No, it's already the size. You can also use it twice before you have to reset it, which is pretty cool. Now, I kind of like where the KSP modding community is going. And of course, you got after the death of Kerbal Space Program 2, people have been going above and beyond with mods. I mean, like, of course, you got Restock PBR, Celestial Harmony, we got Sterling Systems, a bunch of brand new mods, also Chemical Technologies, of course. A bunch of brand new mods that are really good, hot off the presses. Kind of wonder how the modding community will change in the very near future. Kind of makes me want to have like a cool like game show. Not really a game show, like an award show, like the Mod of the Year awards, kind of like the Oscars, but with Kerbal Space Program mods. It's kind of cool. Like I have numerous categories like best parks mod, best visual mod, best gameplay mod, or best new mod, or best old mod, or most unique mod. Be pretty cool. Now, yeah, this is the part where it gets a little flashy. You can see my space station tumbling just because it was inclined orbit. I think it looks kind of funny. It looks like it's swimming. Yeah, I'm gonna cut stuff like this out in future episodes just because it's kind of boring. Except for the part where it looked like it was swimming, because that was kind of funny. Maybe wondering why I didn't send the space station to Krob. Krob's closer. It's because I want to save Krob for later. Just because when I go to Krob, I want to do it properly. I want to have a big space station there. Because if I want to go anywhere, I want to colonize Krob. Now, I'm going to switch back to Auras real quick, just so I can get the science from there. I'm gotta transmit the science really quickly. I do have this other mod that lets me do like bonus science. I think it might be from like Log Blue Industries or something, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm going back to Auras just to get a tiny bit more science, just because I do want to unlock like one more node with it. I'll finally be able to have like actually decent launch vehicles with all the 5-meter parts. I really wish like there were like more attention to like the other part diameters, like there were more boat tail mounts and more like engine mounts for like the other parts. That'd be really cool. Because near future launch vehicles only does 5-meter and 7.5-meter parts. I've been thinking about making my own parks mod, but I do not know how to do 3D modeling. Now I'm going to go back to the tech tree and buy a couple of nodes, like mega materials and a couple other things. So yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all later. Bye!